Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Campbell, and I'm the coordinator for the Multicultural Student Center. I want to thank you all for joining us for the Nguza, Saba, and First Generation graduation ceremony. We put this together to congratulate you all on this achievement, and I hope that you all enjoyed today's acknowledgement towards you all. And we're going to start.
I worked to get my GED. Then I went to community college, transferred to a university to complete my bachelor's degree. During college, I worked at a factory and originally planned to get a degree in accounting. But one day someone said to me, "I know you're doing very well in college and you're pretty good with your hands. Why don't you consider engineering?" I didn't even know what an engineer did. I didn't know this option was available or that I could do it. But it ended up being a great fit for me. And I had incredible support from faculty mentors who helped me earn my PhD. Clearly, we need to increase opportunities for more students to achieve this dream and help students understand what a college education means and that it is attainable. At the same time, we need to think about the impact being first generation has on our faculty and staff. Although they know college from a student's perspective and have excelled at it, did not experience what it means to work within this complex environment. For them, finding networks or mentoring groups and feeling accepted and listened to are also critical to their success. There are so many people at this institution who have incredible capability and talent, but without access, without mentoring, without support, they won't be able to know or realize their full potential. That's why I'm so proud of the work we do, that all of you do at UCF, to think differently about how we customize experiences to help people achieve their dreams, transform their lives, and in the process, transform society. And that's why UCF will always be a welcoming place to anyone who is the first in their family to earn a college degree. Whether you're a student, a faculty member, a staff member, or even a president.
Good afternoon. My name is Tammy Nadeau, and I serve as an Assistant Director in Multicultural Academic and Support Services here at the university. It is my extreme honor to introduce to you Dr. Adrian Frame, who will officially welcome you to today's ceremony. Dr. Frame currently serves as the Vice President of Student Development and Enrollment Services. Prior to this role, she served as the Associate Vice President and Dean of Students for Student Development and Enrollment Services. A little bit more about her. In this current role, she oversees offices such as UCF Cares, MAS, Multicultural Student Services, TRIO programs, Student Health Services, Counseling and Psychological Services, Students' Rights and Responsibilities, Neighborhood Relations, Safety and Education, Academic Services, Student Athletes, and more. She works closely with our campus partners to advance student development and student success while promoting safety, a caring environment, healthy and inclusive student experiences here at the university. Dr. Frame is an accomplished leader who has served as a champion for students throughout her career. She brings a wealth of knowledge, creativity, and passion for student success at UCF. She's a native of Massachusetts and has more than 24 years of higher education experiences. She has served in a number of leadership positions in student affairs, including Dean of Students at Endicott College and as the Director of Housing at Florida State University. She has worked at the Colby Sawyer College in the University of Miami and most recently Suffolk University in Boston. She has extensive experience in campus-based crisis response, relationship building, campus partner development, and Title IX compliance. I am extremely honored to welcome Dr. Adrian Frame today. Thank you. Dr. Frame.
Thank you, Tammy. And for those of you who don't know, she too is about to celebrate a huge academic milestone and become Dr. Tammy Dedu. Just a couple more weeks and we defend. We believe. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Adrienne Frame, and it's my pleasure to serve as the Interim Vice President for Student Development and Enrollment Services here at UCF. For those of you joining in person, welcome. For those of you joining online, we're so glad to have you here as we celebrate this momentous occasion. It is truly an honor to have an opportunity to welcome today everyone to the class of 2021 Valerie, King, Nguza, Saba celebration and our First Gen celebration, and address the distinguished members of the UCF class of 2021. To say that we are proud of you students today is a massive and profound understatement. The accomplishment of successfully completing a degree in higher education is a tremendous achievement, and one to be reflected upon intentionally and thoughtfully, and celebrated joyfully and enthusiastically. Some of you may have been dreaming of this day since you first started elementary school, wondering what you'd do, where to go to college, what would you study. For others of you, attending college may not have been an option you considered significantly, or think that it was something you could or would do. But today, you sit here victorious, having achieved what I hope you will always see as one of the crowning jewel moments of your life and of the life of your family, your friends, your guardians, and supporters. At UCF, we have often said that education, and indeed higher education, truly has the power to transform lives and livelihoods. Lives and livelihoods. We hope that you will find that to be true from your experience moving forward. So graduates, when you think back on your time at UCF, what sticks out most in your mind? What are those quintessential moments that you know you will keep in your memory and you expect to never forget? Is it lectures in a particular class that challenged you, or a professor that took some additional time to help you understand something more fully? Is it spending time on campus, at the library, on Memory Mall, in the Union, serving as a member of a student organization, sharing a bite to eat with friends, or grabbing a scooter to make it to class on time? Is it a formative relationship with a trusted mentor that formed over shared ideas, lived experience, or cups of coffee, particularly at times when you may have felt frustration, anxiety, or concern about your ability to continue forward? Did you stay with the major you came in with? Or did we change once, twice, maybe 3 times? Maybe we're still changing. Well, guess what? We finished, so we're good. Whatever your journey to get to this day, you overcame every obstacle and found creative solutions to every problem. You succeeded and were resilient over many of the things that students before you have faced, but you also managed to do so within the unprecedented throes of a pandemic, social justice issues, and national unrest. These are huge accomplishments indeed. As I address you today, I stand before you in one of my favorite pieces of clothing, and one that I have the opportunity to wear so infrequently. I am 5'5" when I stand super straight and tall. And in this robe, I feel like a giant. This robe for me commemorates a 7.5-year journey to a higher education goal that I never expected to achieve. Indeed, I started my doctoral journey with no intention of finishing it. I started without expecting to finish. And that's because I honestly didn't think I would be able to do it. But I started, and I kept going. I worked full-time the whole time. I had 2 kids along the way, and I still kept going. And one day I found myself 7.5 years later after I started, standing in front of an arena full of people in this gown, with this hood being placed over my head. And if you watch the video of this moment, I say out loud in front of many, "This feels awesome." And it was. And it still is. Even some 12 years later, I still feel incredible power in this gown. And I hope that each one of you has precisely the same experience as you don your own robes and mortarboards, getting ready for your graduation moment. The next few weeks to graduation are going to be a whirlwind. Spring break, finals, grad walk, commencement ceremonies, spending time with friends, making the most of the last days of the semester. Pictures in your robe at the pond, on the seal of the university and the union, and in those campus locations and with those people that mean the most to you. In that whirlwind of time, I hope you will take some moments to be really intentional in your reflections and to act on what comes forward from them. Who helped you get here? Who helped? Who believed in you when you weren't even sure you believed in you? When was the last time you thanked those people? Do they even know who they are? Do they even know the impact that they had? Tell them right now. Tell them. Send an email, schedule a Zoom, write a handwritten note. However you can tell them the thanks that you provide, those words and gratitude mean more than you can know to those with whom you will share them. When I put on this robe, I'm flooded with my memories of my own educational journey, a journey that continues to this day, even though my own formal classroom education has been completed. I remember all of the people that helped lay this path with me and the hard work I did to follow it with their support and belief in me. And yes, I stand a little taller and a little prouder every time I put this robe on, and my shoes feel like they sink deeper into the earth below me. Indeed, I feel my very foundation and inner core strengthening when this robe goes on, and I hope the very same for you. In the next few weeks, these next few weeks will pass far too quickly, and some of it, quite honestly, may feel like a blur that is over way too fast. When you get your cap and gown, put it on. Feel the feeling that comes with it, of accomplishment, of pride, of resilience, of perseverance, of energy, of gratitude, and of relief. Make a point of taking specific moments during the next couple of weeks with your robe on to do a 360 spin slowly. And promise yourself that you will remember everything you see in that 360 spin. Some of it is going to be a blur. I remember the spins. I remember the times when I said, I'm going to remember this right now. Took a huge deep breath, did that spin, and those videos play in my head to this day. Congratulations, dear graduates, on the completion of your degree and on finishing what you started when you came to UCF. We wish you every success as you move forward in your future endeavors. We believe in you, we are proud of you, and we know great things lie ahead for the members of the UCF class of 2021. Enjoy this remarkable and unique time in your life. Be authentically and unapologetically present in these truly phenomenal moments and commit to experiencing them fully, deeply, and completely. May you stand a little taller, smile a little brighter, and as always, go Knights, charge on.
Good afternoon again, everyone. This afternoon, I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming our keynote speaker for today's ceremony, Dr. Malcolm B. Butler. Dr. Butler is a professor and coordinator of the PhD program in science education in the College of Community Innovation and Education at UCF. He also has a secondary appointment with the Learning Sciences Faculty Cluster at UCF. A little bit more about Dr. Butler. After earning his BS in physics from Southern University in Baton Rouge, he began to pursue his PhD in physics at the University of Florida. While in Gainesville, Dr. Butler became fascinated with the idea of growing more scientists, subsequently changing his degree plans and ultimately earning a PhD in curriculum and instruction with the emphasis in science education. He has taught and learned mathematics and science from elementary, middle, and high school students. In addition, he has been affiliated with several institutions of higher education, including the College of William and Mary, Texas A&M, the University of Corpus Christi, the University of Georgia, and the University of South Florida. Dr. Butler has secured over $6 million in funding to support his research and scholarly initiatives. He has presented his research findings and conducted workshops across the United States, including Canada, Japan, the Philippines, Singapore, Cyprus, South Africa, and Botswana. He has co-authored and co-edited 3 books in numerous book chapters and journal articles. Dr. Butler is also one of the authors of K-5 curriculum science curriculum, National Geographic Science, the research-based program that brings science learning to life through the lens of National Geographic. During his career, Dr. Butler has served in several appointed and elected leadership positions in his field. He recently served as president of the Association of Science Teacher Education and currently serves as the chair-elect of the Council of Scientific Society of Presidents. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Dr. Malcolm Butler.
Good afternoon, everyone. I like that call and response. So good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to start with something that I don't normally do, and that is apologize because I got to keep this mask on. But let me tell you, there is the biggest smile under this mask that you could ever imagine. Let me just assure you of that. And it's because I know the value of where you are right now. I understand the significance of it. I've lived it, I've seen it. It's not just a vicarious experience, I've experienced it directly. So I want to thank Dr. Frame, Ms. Nadeau, Stephanie, where'd Stephanie run off to? Stephanie, our tech support and all the other things she's doing, and making sure that we have a good event. So let me start with a couple of things that I think will be important for us to acknowledge up front. And for sure, there are 3 things. One is, I know how these events go. I know the last thing you want to do is hear a long speech from me. There are a lot of other things you want to do. But I want you to know these events never get old for me. You know, I know the value of what has transpired in your lives and why this never gets old. So please indulge me for a few minutes. I promise you I won't be long. So that's the first thing. So a couple other things I want to acknowledge up front just to give us a context for the few words I want to share with you today. The first thing is that I am a first-generation college student. And by virtue of that, I'm also a first-generation faculty member. I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a sec. The second thing that I'd like you to know is that I come from a dysfunctional family. And I'll come back to that in a minute just as well. So let's go back to first generation. I am a first-generation college student. My mom went to 8th grade. My dad went to 2nd grade. Both of them had to stop school. I won't call it dropout because usually we think about dropping out in high school. They dropped out in middle and elementary school. So they had to quit school because of family obligations and needs. My mom was a phenomenal writer. She could push a noun to a verb. Phenomenal writer. My dad was an extraordinary mathematician. He could do 3-digit multiplication in his head. He ran a store, folks, never had a cash register. Never had a cash register. And I witnessed it for myself. Somebody tried to get over on him by telling him he had the wrong number. Keep it in mind, he calculated taxes in his head as well. And the person pulled out their calculator. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Butler, you're right. So in terms of formal education, they didn't have as many opportunities as me, but they had a very strong mind. Now, what does that mean? First generation college student, mom and dad didn't go to college. There's the definition on the sign. Right? They didn't earn a bachelor's, but they were phenomenal in terms of their thinking and what that meant for us. So by definition, I'm first generation. But I can tell you, from the time I could talk, I was going to college. Some of you might have seen that Keen and Peele bit. I'm going to college. You're going to college. Well, I was going to college. Why? Because I was the youngest of 9 children. And in my family, it was understood that you were going to college. So when I turned 5 years old, my 16-year-old sister was already in college. I was going to the college campus. I knew what it meant to hang out and watch the band play and go to the pep rallies at the university and comparing them to my high school and say, oh, man, wait till you get to college. You think these high school pep rallies something? Wait till you get to college, man. I was already thinking that way. So by definition, I'm a first generation college student. But I only learned that when I got to college. I said, what's this first generation stuff? I always thought I would belong there. I knew what it meant to be on the campus. Now, in terms of matriculating, that was a different conversation. I had to figure that out for myself. And that's what you've done. You figured that part out for yourself. So now to this dysfunctional family part. I do come from a dysfunctional family. And there are many definitions, just like for a first generation college student, there are many definitions for what we mean by a dysfunctional family. So here's my definition of a dysfunctional family. And this is why I consider myself to be from a dysfunctional family. You might have heard of the author Ty Alexander, T.Y. Alexander. She wrote a book recently called Things I Wish I Knew Before My Mom Died. Ty Alexander, Things I Wish I Knew Before My Mom Died. And in that book, Miss Alexander defines for herself a dysfunctional family. And I tend to agree with her. Her definition is, and I quote, a dysfunctional family is any family with more than one person in it. I repeat, Ms. Alexander says any family with more than one person in it is, by her definition, dysfunctional. Folks, I agree with that. Because there's nobody sitting in this room that can't share at least one story about something crazy happened in their family. However you define it, there's something in your family that you're not the most proud to share with others. If you're in this room, please stand, and you need to be up here instead of me. So by definition, all of us got something going on. If you have more than one person in your family, there's something going on in your family that you're not the proudest of. Well, Ms. Alexander says, guess what? You're in a dysfunctional family. Now, my wife is a clinical psychologist, and she works with all kinds of people. And a lot of her clients come to her and talk about being from a dysfunctional family. And so she helps them to navigate those spaces. So how do you deal with that? She starts from this place of power, though. She says, you know what? What you're dealing with, we have to focus on you. But you're not alone. Because all of us, if we want to be honest with ourselves, have struggled with something. Okay? Within our family. And within ourselves, we have struggled. So when we get up here as professors and doctors, and we give you this image as if we just started here, and the next thing you know, 25, 30 years later, we were here as if it's this nice, smooth, straight line. Trust. Again, if we're being honest with ourselves about our family, the same thing applies here. We've been all over the place. Maybe even had to go backwards a little bit to get where we are. That's the reality of all of us. There's even something called a failure resume, or failure CV. And the failure resume is a list of all the things that you tried that didn't work out. And I'm working on mine now because you heard Mr. Nadeau talk about the grants that I've won and been fortunate to get $6 million in grants. And I'm very fortunate, indeed, blessed to have been in that situation. But I can tell you, for those $6 million that we won, we got about $60 million we didn't get. So that's the reality of life. And so what do I want to share with you beyond that is this idea of to know, what it means to know. And where I want to stick with that is 3 aspects of to know. The first one is you need to know your worth. To earn a degree, an undergrad degree, you have already put yourself in a category that less than 1% of the world's population has. I'm not talking about Central Florida. I'm not talking about the state of Florida. I'm not talking about the U.S. We're talking about the entire world. By virtue of earning your bachelor's degree, you've already put yourself in a category that less than 1% of the world's population lies in. Know your worth. Now, with that word comes a lot of responsibility because that means that you also have to hold true to who you are while also making sure that others are successful too. And in your success is defined within others' success. So you need to know your worth. There is value in what you've done. I know you know that. It doesn't hurt to keep hearing it. Know your worth. Second thing. Right along the same lines of knowing your worth, you got to know your people. Some people say you got to have a tribe, you got to have your club, you got to have your crew, however you define them. You have to know your people. Now, just like you evolve in life, you know your worth. Your worth is going to evolve. Sometimes you're going to feel, as Dr. Frame said, like you're a giant. And other days, people are trying to put you in check and make you feel very small, like you're not worth anything. So your worth will fluctuate. But in the end of the day, that worth will evolve and to the point where you feel really good about yourself and you keep growing in that space. Well, it's the same thing with people, folks. You got to know your people. Maya Angelou, who some of you may know, has a very famous quote along those lines with know your people. She says, when people show you who they are, believe them. She doesn't make it very complicated for you. Now again, my wife's a psychologist and she even struggles with this. Truth be told, she'll probably watch the video and I have a few words for her when I get home. But she'll tell you, look, the more and more a person shows you who they are, they keep showing you who they are, at some point, Maya Angelou's words ought to come through to you, even if you didn't know Maya Angelou before today. Hey, God, how many more times do you have to show me who you are before I believe that? So it's the same thing with knowing your people. People are going to come and go in your life, including family. People are going to come and go in your life. You have to know your people. You want to surround yourself with people who are going to build you up. Now, building you up doesn't always mean telling you, hey, good job, you got it going on, you're doing all the right stuff. That's a part of it. Sometimes it's going to be, good and well, you shouldn't be doing that. Or you screwed up on that. You need to try to make that right. You need those people in your life as well. So don't kick them to the curb. You need them because they also are helping you to know your worth. So you have to do both of those. You got to have people who are building you up, and it could be the same people, but you got to have people who keep you honest. Keep you honest. Make sure you know you're moving in the right direction. If folks aren't doing that for you, as I tell my son who's now in college and wrapping things up, I say, folks, man, you can have lots of associates, but friends, a true friend, if you're defining what a friend is, you can know a lot of folk, but not everybody's going to be your friend. A friend has a very different meaning. And we got Facebook friends. That's a very different kind of friend than what we're talking about when I say know your people. Know who's there for you, who's going to be your, as I would say when I was growing up, as Jackie might remember, we talked about our thick and thins. Those folks are going to be there when things are going good, and they're also the folks are going to be there when things aren't going that well, and they go sideways. Or they're the ones who pull you aside and say, hey, we got to get you back on track. You need all of those people in your life. And again, they don't have to be family folk. They can be, but they don't have to be. And in defining the knowing of your people, in knowing your people, you also want to make sure that those people can in some ways keep it real with you. I got an uncle. Uncle knows how to keep it real. When I go home, the last thing he's calling me is Dr. Butler. He calls me my childhood nickname. I'm not going to give it to you, but that's what he calls me. And that's his way of saying, look, no matter where you go in life, stay grounded. This is who you're about. And I learned a lot from him. Wisdom, how to treat people, how to expect to be treated, how to respect people, how to be respectable, all from a person, just like my mom and dad, who does not have all that formal education. So your people don't have to be everybody who has a degree. So you shouldn't be standing there with a list saying, okay, you have your bachelor's? You can't be one of my people. I'm so sorry. You can't talk with me because you don't know what it's like to be. Your people have to be people who keep you grounded, who are pushing you to be the best you. Which leads me to my third note. You need to know you. You need to know yourself. And that also, too, is an evolution. Because I can tell you, 20 years ago, I wouldn't stand up here and talk with you like I'm talking with you right now. I have 1 page of notes. If I was prepared to give a 15-minute speech, I'd have 15 pages of notes to flip through. Over time, I haven't perfected it, but I spent time listening to other people talk about speaking from the heart in the hopes that it will reach somebody's heart. And so this idea of speaking in front of people is not something that I aspired to do 20, 30 years ago. Let me get my degree in physics and go run my scanning tunneling microscope and look at some lithium samples, and life is good. And now here I am asked to talk with fellow first-generation college graduates. And so you're going to evolve as well. So when things don't go well, don't beat yourself up too bad. It's going to happen. You know what we call that in science when things don't go well? If I'm in the lab, an experiment doesn't go well, I'm writing down everything, and I can't get that lithium fluoride crystal to go just right on the thermocouple, and it doesn't work out right, and I'm collecting information, and it doesn't work. You know what we call that in science, folks? Data. We don't call it a mistake, we call it data. And what happens? We go back and we look at the data and we decide, wait, now I see what happened. And we go back at it. So in life, you're going to collect a lot of data about yourself. You're sitting there now saying, oh, Dr. Butler, hurry up. I shouldn't be saying that because, one day I may be up there. You're going to collect a lot of data about yourself. What I hope you will do is in collecting those data, that you take time to look at those data and figure out how you can use those data to affect change in your life and hopefully the lives of others. Because getting this degree, hopefully you realize when we think about family, your people, that this degree is going to have your name on it. It's going to have Dr. Cartwright's name, by the way. It's going to have a couple other folks' names. But the name in the biggest font is going to be your name. And that signifies that you have done what it took to be successful in getting your bachelor's degree, whatever that meant. Staying up late at night, studying when others are not studying, all those things, that's what that degree means with your name on it. You and I know that there are a lot of other names that are behind your name. There's a mom, there's a grandma, there's a nana, there's an abuela. There are all these people that you know when you see your name on there, you're already thinking about all of these other people that have helped you along the way. Now keep in mind, when I say help, I don't mean all the ones that actually, quote unquote, positively help you. Sometimes the people will try to put roadblocks in your way. They will probably told you, you'll never finish school. You're not going to finish on time. What does that mean to finish on time, by the way? People get caught up in, well, I'm not going to finish on time. When you finish, you finish. You got the degree. There's nowhere on your degree that's going to say, well, Butler got his bachelor, it took him 12 years. That degree is the same as anybody else that took 2 years. It's the same degree. They don't measure the degree by time. And so you have to also take those opportunities when people are trying to put roadblocks in your way and you've done it already, it's not new, you've done it already, then when they put that in front of you, you say, oh, okay, I'll show you. Or you say, okay, that's how you feel, let me move over here. Let me find somebody else. You've already been doing that your whole life, and you will continue to have to do that the rest of your life. So, as you move forward in this next phase of your life, remember, as you think about commencement, what I'd like you to do is confirm what I'm telling you about commencement. If you don't know for sure what commencement means, look it up. Because commence means to begin. Now, we talk about graduation, and we do all these ceremonies for you, and then the culminating activity is what we call a commencement ceremony. And that's supposed to be the end of it. You know, you're taking all your pictures, like Dr. Frame said, all over campus, and then you have a commencement exercise. Folks, commencement means to begin. It's not the end, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the next phase and the next chapter of your life. And so I know, as a first-generation college student, that you have earned your degree. And you are ready for the next chapter in your life. And I encourage you, as you move forward, if nothing else, make sure that you help somebody else along the way. Because for sure you know, you're not the last set of first-generation college students. There are many others out there who want the same kinds of things you want, and you may be the one person that can turn the tide for them. So use the first generation as an opportunity to let folks know, if you can do it, they can do it too. And I am so pleased to know that you've done it. I want to congratulate every single one of you. I'm going to break protocol and let you see how happy I am that you are here and that you're able to celebrate with us today with your family and loved ones. And I'm overjoyed because it is that special to me. It never gets old. Congratulations. Keep pushing. Go Knights. Charge on.
Thank you, Dr. Butler, for those words. Again, my name is Stephanie Campbell, and I'm going to be reading the names for the Nguza Saba graduates. I apologize in advance if I do mispronounce your names. Adonai Adebigbe. Her major is in public administration and health service administration. Tiffany Johnson, Biomedical Sciences, Honors College, UCF ASSA tutor in Hearts for the Homeless. Tiana Carter Marie, Legal Studies major, Human Communications minor. Her other involvements are National Council of Negro Women, National Black Law Students Association, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Cindy Anivet, Health Sciences and Health Admin. Jason Jean, Mechanical Engineering and Mathematics. Other involvements include ASME, fundraising, and NSBE. Aisha Moore, Social Work. Other involvements are BSWSA. Wintree Stewart, Interdisciplinary Studies, majoring in Health Education and a minor in Nonprofit Management. Cheyenne. Her other involvements include Knights Pantry volunteer manager and Black Women in Medicine vice president. And we have Jordan Montgomery. I'm sorry. Management and business analytics. Other involvements include UCF charge on mentoring. I would invite Ms. Tammy Nadeau to read the names for the first generation graduates.
Thank you, Stephanie. Before I begin, could we please give another round of applause to our keynote speaker, Dr. Frame, Stephanie, and the committee that put this all together. I feel like Dr. Butler. I'm so excited to see each of your faces and to enjoy this moment with you. I do apologize in advance if I mispronounce your name. I'm going to begin with Christian Bonilla. Major finance of the campus involvement is Delta Sigma Pi. Daisy Luong, major health sciences, other campus involvement, Trans Sigma Zeta, transfer nights and undergraduate in physical therapy. Barbara Fortillas, major human communications, other involvement, marketing. Jufeng Lu, major computer sciences, other involvement, FliPA. Got it. Unli Su Yu, Malcolm, major film and entrepreneurship, other involvement, Chi Sigma Society. Name, Zanyu Bogholtz, major, human communications, involvement, natural society and leadership success. Cheyenne, major, political science and criminal justice, campus involvement, Phi Alpha Delta, Student Government Association, Chi Sigma. She said, turn it over. Transfer nights, SK, Russian, and student organizations. Tari Bellamy, major, psychology, other involvement, housing and residential assistance. Next is Sydney Invert, major health sciences with the emphasis in health administration. Ku Shifa, major health sciences, preclinical. Emeline Amanza, major, biology and music. Paige Jiyin, major, information technology. Major, Susan Kaloff. Name, Susan Kaloff. Major, IDS, Interdisciplinary Studies. Ross Castleberry, major History and Legal Studies. Congratulations. Name Sinukbui, major Human Communications. Did I get it right? Cedric. Congratulations. Gabriel Escarba, major, psychology, clinical track, human resources, minor, psychological, other involvement, psychological society, and side chat honor society. Giovanni Vital, major, aerospace engineering. Ellie S. Bradley, major, creative writing. Amber Manuel, major, interdisciplinary studies, minor, Africana studies. Again, to our graduates, congratulations, and we wish you wealth, health, and prosperity. Thank you.
Can we have another round of applause for all of the graduates? Again, thank you all for being with us today. I hope that you do enjoy the souls that you were gifted with, and definitely take it on to either commencement and grad walk with everyone that you chose. I wish you all the best. Have fun during spring break, success during your finals, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. But before you go, we do have a photo booth in the back, and then we also have Nitro here, who will be available outside by the colorful arch if you wish to take photos. Thank you.